All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to tear apart this tankless water heater. See what's inside one of these. Now, the cover was gone. It was already off of it when I picked it up. And, of course, the first thing I seen was copper. Copper, copper, copper. Love that copper. So I definitely want that out of there. But don't come across these very often. You know, it's a tankless water heater. This one actually is gas, so you got the inlet and the outlet for the water and the inlet for the gas. Like I say, I don't come across these very often, especially gas ones. Most of the ones I come across are electric, and they don't have the big copper radiator in them. Usually they just got a few copper lines with a heating element wrapped around them. So let's take this thing apart and see what kind of goodies are inside of it. So basically, I'm just going to start off. I'm going to just start taking every screw I can see out of this thing, because it looks like it is well screwed together. And we'll see exactly what we end up with. All kinds of little doodads on this thing. Some buried down there. All right. Well, I got just about all the screws I can see anyway, so I'm just going to start popping some things apart here and find all the screws that I didn't see. This is not something I'm very familiar with. Like I say, I don't come across a whole lot of these that are gas. Looks like some aluminum. Screws. It's actually a little solenoid there. Got copper winding in it. Looks like I missed a couple. More high school, my shop teacher said, whenever you're taking something apart, always take every screw, every bolt, everything you can find, then shake it, and if that don't work, go back and find the screws that you missed the first time. And if that don't work, the hammer will always get it apart. But hopefully we won't need a hammer. These two look like they're joined together. Rip and pull. Nope, I thought maybe they might be stainless steel, but nope. A lot of times these little clips like this are stainless steel, so they won't rust. Little blower motor, little electric motor in there. Okay. Well, looks like I've just got a couple screws down here. If I can get to them. There's always one. Do it the old-fashioned way. This stuff should just pop out, theoretically. Interesting. Oh, where's my flathead? There we go. Get that little tie down now. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, well, I'm going to set this off for the side right now, because I'm going to finish up with this casing. A little transformer down there. Let's see. There's the regular screws. Nice little chunk of brass. Some more brass. Trying to look. Is that got a plastic valve in it? Some more brass anyway. That's brass. Just have to clean that up. Interesting. Alright, I'll fight with that later. Worst comes to worst, I take my grinder with the cutoff wheel and I'll just slice that sucker in half. Same thing with these, with the little plastic valves and stuff in them. I'll split them in half and tear that stuff out. Let's continue with this. Got a little copper transformer. More wire to trim off. Yep, and these are actually all solenoids. They actually have a copper winding under there. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to be able to show you. That's alright. That's where the hammer comes in handy. Besides that, actually a nice piece of cast aluminum too. And I bet you there's an electric motor inside of this too. If I can get it apart. Little bitty electric motor. Hang on to that. Got to trim that wire off. Little pieces of steel. Do this without making a mess. Alright, so that's it with the casing. That's 10 thread. Now let's move on to the goodies, the part we really want to see. Alright, well, that's supposed to pull off of there. There we go. Another piece of brass and actually a little electric motor. Alright, now this thing should come apart, which I guess I might have to pry these little tabs up. Get it to come apart here. in theory. There we go. Now we're making progress. That's just steel, more tin shred. Is that stainless? No, it's not. Magnet sticks pretty good. Interesting. Well, it might be low quality stainless, but it's not good stainless. Like I say, the magnet sticks to it. You guys can see. See, the thing is this green color. You guys know what green means usually. It's copper or brass. It's alright, let me take some more screws out of this thing, see what we got. Uh-oh. Sometimes it is well worth it to take your time and use a handheld screwdriver to break a lot of these screws loose, at least in my experience. Personally, I don't like putting a whole lot of pressure on the screw gun. That just fell apart. Well, tell by the rust, that's definitely tin shred. Huh. I don't know. Very interesting. I don't see anything. So that's just going to go as tin shred, more tin shred. Like I say, it is magnetic. I don't see any copper color. It just might be where it was sitting against this from the green. I mean, usually copper corrodes and gets that green color going on to it. Guess I could put my other glove on, huh? Alright, let me see here. More clips and wires. And this looks the same way. Basically, if I use the right screwdriver. Little tabs bent over here. Look at the wasp nest in there, huh? More tin shred. And this is the part we wanted. Oh, copper. Beautiful copper. I'm gonna take this little, got a little strip of metal around it. Oh, it's coming off of there one way or the other. Hopefully without blood loss. Okay. Voila! Look at that, look at that. Well, I'll have to peel the foam off and make sure I get the little rubber washers off. But yes, pure copper goodness. Yes. That's what I want to see. I don't know, maybe 5 pounds, maybe more. I don't know. I've never been good at guessing weight, folks. But got a couple of little electric motors here too, actually. It's a cute little blower. That one's all stripped out. Over the 10 thread. Yep. Well, actually, it's a square bit, ain't it? I got one of those. Wonder if that blade. Oh, it's steel. But hey, that's pretty cool. Is that? Yeah, that is. So, got a little stainless, some aluminum, got a bunch of wire. It's actually a little transformer and some aluminum extrusion used as heat sink. I don't know if I'm going to dig that out because it's got that rubberized coating down in there. But some other copper dude ends. Of course, the wire. What we got? A couple electric motors. Where's that other little one at? Yep, there. There. And actually, this is a little electric motor here, too. Let me take that off. Come on. More brass. Ugh. See, at my scrapyard, when they buy clean metal, they want clean metal. So a lot of times I gotta pull these metal valves out. Now a lot of times they're not too bad. See, that one just pulled right out. That's cool. You know, same thing with the pressure release valves on hot water heaters. I gotta take in clean brass, which means no metal springs or steel valves or anything like that. But I got me a couple good pieces of copper here, or brass, I'm sorry. Nice little transformer, which will go with my electric motors. Got this little electric motor, if I can get it all the way out. Come on. Throw it all in there. But definitely got some tin shred, and that's what we were mainly after, the copper and that brass. You know, a couple pounds of brass, always nice. A few little electric motors to throw in there with the transformer, and that's what I really wanted. That's nice. Like I say, you only find these in the gas. I found a while back, I found a gas pool heater, which is basically the same kind of setup, except the radiator was like 4 times as big. It was a really nice find. I ain't complaining about this one. That'll go into my copper pile. And actually, this will go in as number 2 because of all the solder joints where it's been put together, of course. So, not a bad stash of stuff though. Got a little bit of aluminum, which get clean aluminum. I got to take the little metal screws and plugs out. No big deal. And quite a bit of tin shred. And of course all this wire that I need to trim up. But I'm not going to show you guys me doing that. Trimming wire is boring. But well worth the time to take this thing apart. That copper alone is well worth the time, even if I would have had to take it apart with a hammer. Figure with the hammer, the grinder, and the sawzall, I can take anything apart. You may never reuse it again, but I'll get it apart one way or the other. Alright, well, that's going to do it for me, folks. So, until next time.